So today I am reacting to Blaire White. Well, actually, I've been watching Blaire White for a while, and so I'm just going to kind of give you my reaction to my observations of Blaire White. And I'm going to say first off that I am gay, male, and I am liberal. And so reviewing Blaire White as she is a member of the LGBT community is kind of interesting, and I'm gonna say that I am actually a fan. Most people would be like, hey, she's conservative and you're liberal. Well, we can get past that. I am a bit of an SJW. I do very much get involved in social justice and things like that, which is counter to Blaire White as well, as she stands against that sort of thing. But I found that as I actually started to listen to her and hear her points, I actually agreed with a lot of them. She didn't convince me, she didn't change my mind, but rather I was not made aware of the extremes of some of the left side of things. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm very left. I believe in gay marriage. I believe in, a lot of left stuff. But I don't believe in 97 different genders, so to speak. And so a lot of those points I do agree with Blaire White on. I don't agree with everything she says. Sometimes I think she's out there. One or two of her videos I do think are staged. But when push comes to shove and she speaks, she's well thought out. She's researched her stuff. She thinks about things. I don't have to agree with her to respect the fact that she's put some thought into it. I don't have to agree with her to see that she's put research into it. And she's allowed to come to her own conclusions, even though they might not agree with mine. So, with that said, I definitely am a subscriber of hers. I've become a subscriber just in the last week or so. And I would like to see her live debating. That's one of the things I'm a huge fan of, is her debates. I would love to actually debate with her myself, except for I just don't really have a platform to debate with her. But I would assume we would find out that we agree. I'm not an experienced YouTuber, so I don't have a high quality camera. I don't have all this makeup on that a lot of them do, or the correct lighting or anything. So I am sorry about all that. I also tend to say a lot, and I'm probably not going to edit that out because I really don't have skills at editing video. The most I've done is a few how-to videos, and I ummed my way through those too, so I do apologize for that. I am definitely not a Trump supporter, so don't worry, I have not gone to the dark side. I cannot excuse someone who has 19 counts of sexual assault on them being in office. I cannot excuse someone who's draft dodged and turned their back on their country being in office. I cannot excuse someone who has failed in business being placed in office. I mean, okay, yeah, he's failed, but that was the excuse most people voted for him, or a lot of people, because he's a businessman. Well, he's a failed businessman. Okay, a lot of his businesses have failed miserably. The ones that are successful, a lot of them, control was taken away from him legally. So he's not the reason for their success. The reason for their success is his investors, which legally took control. So Trump does not get to make decisions on those businesses, and that makes a nice platform for him because he still makes money off of them. And then a lot of people are like, well, he found the loopholes. No, he didn't. His accountant did. And that's kind of what's meant by too rich to fail, is that he can pay people with enough talent that or enough intelligence that they can find these things for him. However, I just said a bunch of negative things about him. There is one thing he is good at. Exceptionally good at, actually. He's a showman. He can put on a show like you wouldn't believe. That's why his TV show was successful. That's why his campaign was as successful as it was, is because he can put up there and he can put on a show. And he can tell people what they want to hear, or certain groups of what they want to hear, and appeal to them. He's good at that. He can make the sale. Can he close the deal? Not by his example in office so far. But he can put on a show. And I will give that to him. So he does deserve his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Because, again, he can put on a show. And that's what those people do. So am I converting to supporting Trump? No. Does Blaire White throw me for a loop sometimes? Yes, she very much does. I have a hard time with her a little bit, even though she makes sense to me on a lot of things and she's well thought out. She's still supporting a group of people that believe she should burn in hell or be burned at the stake. And she's giving them power. And that's scary to me. I'm not necessarily a Democrat either. I don't vote Democrat either. I actually tend to more support the Green Party because I believe in grassroots motivation. I like their cap on how much money corporations can give them, so people under the Green Party can't be bought anywhere near as easily, and I think it's $2,500. No lobbyists, or if there is, there's very few on that side. I like that, and a lot of volunteer work. I support that. I support solar energy and power, things like that. So would I ever support money grubbing, greedy, selfish person that does not even pay their employees? No. Trump will never earn my support unless he starts fixing those issues, paying his employees and things like that. And I don't think he's going to, because it's not profitable. I think he's in it for himself, and he's going to use his position to make money for his companies. So is Blaire White convincing me to go over and be a Trump supporter? No, that's not going to happen. Sorry about that little ranty pants, but I just had to throw that in there as one thing that I don't agree with her on. One of many. I think it's rare to find a conservative person that thinks through these things as much as she does. Usually when I am discussing politics or anything with a conservative type person, it turns into F you and go to hell and burn in hell and you little shits and blah, 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 and just going on. That's about the level of their maturity. And you big poo-poo head and you big dum-dum, and you're not convincing me at that point. You're convincing me that I need to stay away from that side. Trump speaking is kind of the same way. It's, someone's father paid a little too much to push him through school. Like they should have taken a little bit more time, maybe held him back a grade so he could learn to speak. But that's just me. And so I'm going to end it at this. I do apologize. I'm not experienced with videos. But I just want to say that I am a fan of Blaire White. I do like what she's doing. I got to give kudos to her that she is, again, I'm going to say this, well thought out. She does put thought and research into her arguments. Once in a while, she caters to the drama or stuff, but that's all YouTube people. All YouTube people do that. They stage a show like an altercation. I no means think that was real, but okay. So I said my piece. I'm going to let you go. But before I do, I'm going to start vlogging more. And the reason why I'm going to start vlogging more is I am a male. I am a gay male. But that aside, I have survived a lot of things in my life, a lot of abuses, a lot of other things, and I find that not a lot of men actually talk about it. And I'm also a massage therapist. So when I was online and I noticed that a lot of female, because it's a female-dominated field, they tend to talk about how scary it is to be in the room with a man, or they kind of flip out about all that stuff. And sometimes I just have to explain to them that sometimes they're being a little ridiculous. Sometimes they aren't. And so I try to find a middle ground So I'm going to start vlogging about a lot of things or whatever hits my mind and putting it up. And it's going to be this crappy camera, and it's going to be probably this backdrop. So I do apologize for that, but I'm not experienced, and I'm probably maybe going to get one follower, and that'll probably be my dad. So, all right, you guys take care, and maybe you'll see my videos again in the future. Have a good one.